governs everything in the visible world, and is in some way the cause for all the things that he used to see. It's clear that what he has next step.
Okay, stop right there. So where are we now?
He's gotten farther up out of the world that someone has forced him to get over kind of the barrier of pain, and he's gotten farther out of the world, and as he adjusts, he starts to see what he now takes to be the truth.
Yeah, he's completely out of the cave now, right? And now he's, with further adjustments, coming to see what reality is. This is the person actually being in the area where he's with the real now. Suppose he was with the real before, he's in the real now, and with some further adjustments is able to kind of see how things hang together. Russell, why don't you continue with this?
Yeah, I suppose. Sorry.
What about when he reminds himself of his first dwelling place?
What about when he reminds himself of his first dwelling place, his fellow prisoners, and what passed for wisdom there? Don't you think that he counted himself happy for the change and pity of others? Certainly. And if there have been honors, praises, or prizes among them for the one who was sharpest at identifying the shadows as they passed by, and who best remembered which usually came earlier, which later, or simultaneously, and who could thus best divine the future, do you think that our man would desire these rewards, or envy those among the prisoners who were honored and held high? Instead, he wouldn't feel with Homer that he preferred much to work the earth as a serf to another, one without possessions, and go through any sufferings, rather than share those means of living they do? I suppose he would rather suffer than suffer anything and live like that. Consider this too. If a man went down into the cave again and sat down in the same seat, wouldn't his eyes coming suddenly out of the sun like that be filled with darkness? They certainly would. And before his eyes had recovered, the adjustment would not be quick, while his vision was still dim. If he had to compete again with the perpetual prisoners in recognizing the shadows, wouldn't he invite ridicule? Wouldn't it be said of him that he returned from his upward journey with his eyesight ruined, and that it isn't worthwhile even to try to travel upward? And as for anyone who tried to free them and lead them upward, if they could somehow get their hands on him, wouldn't they kill him? They certainly would.
So what is all that? What is that? That extension? That one back in.
That's kind of like, so the guy goes out of the cave, he learns a bunch of stuff that's going to empower the people back in the cave. But
it's not just good for him, it'd be good for everybody.
Yeah. But by the time he comes back and tries to spread the light, they kind of, well, first of all, it's hard for him to adjust back to a more simple life once he's seen the light. Like it's suffering to do that. You can't re-simplify yourself. And as much as he wants to impart his new knowledge on people he's left behind, they're also reluctant to listen.
Yeah, are they just going to accept it?
Yeah. Yes, they don't accept it.
Any more on this piece about going back into the cave and compelling folks to...
Isn't it also that, like, you have to really compel him to go back down because he really would resist naturally. You want to stay in life and you do not have to return back to the darkness of the cave.
Yeah.
And then also...
Yeah, cave's not so attractive to the guy once he's dealing in the sun.
There's also the idea that he preferred to be in pain, being enlightened, than to return or to reverse what happened and live in kind of ignorance.
Just one specific example that they often ask, are the philosopher kings happy, et cetera, they aren't paid, they aren't. I think a really important part of this is when he talks about if there had been any honors, praises, or prizes among the people in the cave, wouldn't he not desire them? And I think that's a really, really accurate explanation of why the philosopher kings are not going to care, that they're not being highly compensated for what they do, and that they're not winning all kinds of medals for what they do. And I think that's an important question that people have coming from our perspective about the philosophy.
I mean, why would somebody who's a holder of the truth care about being recognized by by fools, by people who don't even realize. It's not that they're ignorant, it's that they don't even realize they're ignorant. Right? It's you know what I'm saying? Like it's like whatever.
Well, in that same aspect, it almost sets up the philosopher kings or the philosophers themselves to be independent of the society at large, or like ostracized from that society in the way that they live and conduct themselves.
Somewhat. I think it starts to raise the question then, what is it? One, why would the person come back into the cave? I mean, that's something that's still hanging. We haven't gotten through to that, but it's like, why would the person? If the depiction of the back in the cave scenario is, this allegory has some accuracy to it, that people would resent the person that's coming back saying, hey, you know what? I've seen the light and all this is garbage, right? So just follow me and I'll tell you what to do. And I can't take you out of the cave, but you should just trust that I know what's up, right? Does that sound like somebody that we've read about?
Yeah.
Who does it sound like?
Like Socrates.
Yeah, it might be Socrates at this point. If they could get their hands on him, they would probably kill him. It's more than a little self-serving, I think, at this point, that Socrates is being used by Plato, right, is actually vindicating Socrates in real life, and kind of what happened, and trying to explain what happened to him. He was the enlightened person that came back into the cave.
And it was just like you couldn't stand having them live in ignorance. There should always be someone else to come back, which is interesting.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Did you, Shep, did you have something? Well, then let's go ahead and read this piece on this whole image. Who can read that? Yeah, go ahead.
This whole image, Lachlan, must be fitted together with what we said before. The visible realm should be likened to the prison dwelling, and the light of the fire inside it to the power of the sun. And if you interpret the upward journey and the study of things above as the upward journey of the soul to the intelligible realm, you'll grasp what I hope to convey, since that is what you wanted to hear about. Whether it's true or not, only God knows. But this is how I see it. In the noble realm, the form of the good is the last thing to be seen, and it is reached only with difficulty. Once one has seen it, however, one must conclude that it is the cause of all that is correct and beautiful in anything, that it produces both light and its source in the visible realm, and that in the intelligible realm, it controls and provides truth and understanding, so that anyone who is to act sensibly in private or public must see it.
So what does that mean? That pretty much is the summary statement of this whole thing. What does he tell us?
It's not easy to kind of rise up, but it's a journey that you take if you really want to get to the truth, and the truth is, or I guess the highest ideal is the form of the good. He talks about how this journey, he kind of explains that this metaphor I'm making is one that the soul needs to take to get there.
And there's part of 4, and then what we're going to deal with in 10 next time that's really going to get into this language of the form. So we're going to drill down on the kind of the forms, the form of the good and all that. I don't know that we have to necessarily do that today to understand how this metaphor is working. Did you have something on this? Yeah,
Yeah, I was going to say, he really illustrates that point by saying that, even if someone else, like there's some other force who drags you out and tries to expose you to the truth, you'll resent that person as long as you can't see it. And it's almost like a cycle where when you go back and you try to expose other people to the truth, they'll resent it too.
Yeah, it's rough being a teacher. Like that's the discipline and all this kind of stuff. This is all kind of metaphors for all that.
This whole journey of coming out of the cave, coming out of ignorance, kind of relevant to Matrix, in the real world versus,
I get a Matrix comment every semester. So thanks, I was waiting for that. But because it's absolutely true. That the Matrix is built off of a philosophy like this, or Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall. You guys are older than you are, so you might not. But I'm just saying that there's lots of this kind of, who said brainwashing? Eldar, was that you last time we were talking about we have to brainwash the kids by cleaning up the gods so they look a certain way? I thought you would use the word brainwash specifically. Somebody did. But it's the same kind of, and remember, that's why I think it's important. It's not like people are ignorant in some bald judgment. It's that people are ignorant of the fact that they're ignorant. Right? That's the profundity here. And if one could get out of that dimension for a minute and look back on what you thought was reality. One, that reality doesn't look the way you thought it did. Right? What we would call, in Greek philosophy, the Archimedean any point. Archimedes, you know, is the guy that makes the earth spin. He's standing on the one solid spot in the universe with a big long stick. And he's the guy that's turning the world. You see what I mean? Like if we could get that point on this, we would realize how false. We realize that those are shadows. We realize that. But man, it's not easy to get to that point, especially if you don't realize that you need to.
I'd be interested to raise the question of whether the censorship of poetry actually contributes to this journey that is described here. Because he basically says that in taking away these bad examples, you allow the philosopher kings to turn their souls more towards the rational part. At the same time, I see a lot of value in knowing that which you're trying to rise above and not being tempted by it, because you often see that when people are raised and they are not exposed to something, that if they're later exposed to it, they're particularly susceptible to it.
That would be a different philosophy of education than is represented in here. I wonder if adultery and stuff like that is something that you need representation of the gods for to know it. That would be, I guess, my question. Wouldn't that be just the kind of stuff that's happening in the neighborhood anyway? It wouldn't have to necessarily be in your literature.
That's absolutely true. I guess what I'm saying is, for example, if you have I'm trying to think of kind of like a cautionary tale regarding like Icarus. It certainly shows, and I don't know exactly how that fits in, if that's the type of thing Plato would want to ban, but let's say that the cautionary tale involving a god doing something wrong, but that there's kind of a moral at the end of the story. This is the type of thing that it sounds like Plato would ban because it portrays the gods in a bad way.
Yeah, see, I think you guys know the term anthropomorphizing?
Yeah.
When you make something human, in this case, making the gods human-like. If you already recognize, first of all, that there's these weaknesses and these behavioral issues in humans, then the first question I would have in response is, to what extent do we need that representation?